Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us. For this new figure unboxing and review, we're going to be looking at the Transformers Legacy Leader Class Laser Optimus Prime figure. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're then going to have a detailed look at him in all of his modes to help you decide how you want to display him. We're then going to do some comparisons with him, and to be honest, this is the only other Laser Optimus Prime figure that I have to date. This was of course one of the Titans versions of him, but we'll also do some comparisons and see how he fares and scales with some of the rest of the figures in this toy line. Now, before we get started, I need to thank Robot Recruits, and that's because that's the company that I purchased this from, and as you can see, they shipped him out to me nice and safely. Before we open it though, we've got to appreciate this box. It is beautiful. It is stunning. I know it's closed box. To be honest, I don't really know how I feel about that. I think I'm quite lucky at the moment that with my collection that I'm going to obviously be opening this. If I was displaying, maybe I'd have a problem with it, but because I'm going to be opening it, it's not too bad, and it does look great anyway, doesn't it? The artwork is brilliant. We've got the new Legacy logo there. I love the way excuse me, that we've got, I suppose, the bust part of the figure seems to be the common theme. They're putting like the bust or just the head sculpt on the top part, and we've got the alternate mode on the back. We can scan the QR code. I'm not going to do it on this video, and we'll get in. That would bring up tech specs, etc. And I've already seen a numerous amounts of upgrade kits for this, so we'll see just how basic the actual base mode is. So let's start to open this up. And yeah, I've been excited to see this figure, to be honest. As you can see by my Laser Optimus Prime collection, I don't own the original, so this will be interesting to see just how good he is. I've heard good things about him. I've not seen anybody else's reviews, and I've just seen some pictures. So the same with all my reviews on newer figures. It's just literally what it's going to be. You'll see in a second. It's going to be first impressions, and let's see what we think of it. My only thing that I will say that is a bit of a bonus to these cardboard boxes without the windows, and as I say, I've already mentioned and done a video on it, and I know it sounds quite selfish because it only serves what suits myself, is that you can completely flat pack them for easy storage. So let's slot this out, and interestingly enough, he's in his alternate mode. So as you can see, everything is there. Yeah, you can you can detach all these by the looks of it. There's one part, there's the sword, but I'm going to relieve you guys of the boredom of watching me take this off, and I'll unpack this and come straight back to you. Okay, so set free from the packaging, and we're going to do some first impressions. And in all honesty, it has thrown me a little bit. I wasn't expecting him to be in the alternate mode, but he is. So let's have a look at the accessories, and as you can see, there's a slight bend in this. This is just something to look out for yourselves due to the way that it's packaged, and I've read on numerous occasions that some of these swords have been completely bent because of how it's held in with the card, but got away with that one, and it looks pretty good, to be honest. Same with the Energon axe. There's a lovely bit of detail there on it, and of course this will fold as well depending on how you want to use it. Lovely looking accessories though, to be honest. Right, in all honesty, I've had a very quick look at the instructions. Again, this is totally new to me, and there's just a couple of things that we need to do before we have a look at this properly, and these are, first and foremost, if we just give ourselves a little bit of space, fold what we know are going to be the legs down, and just lift this tab up, because this is how it should be when it's correctly transformed. So you can see you've got some tabs there. I'm just going to close this up, back into position, and also the fuel tanks, there's little tabs underneath there. Fold these out, and this is again the correct way now that if you were transforming it from robot back to truck, that it should look. And there it is, looking great. This cab is brilliant. Lovely flamed effect there. Fantastic translucent plastic, not showing off too much through the windows. Fuel tanks perhaps could have been painted silver like the smokestacks. Good detail on the wheels though, so of course we've got the silver on the inside. You can tell obviously these are going to be the legs, shall we say, and a bit you can't really tell too much underneath. It's not too bad. Trailer itself, now I can see what people are saying straight away. This feels hollow, it feels empty, which I know it is, but it just feels light. And am I being a bit harsh by saying it feels maybe a bit cheap? There's a good bit of, you know, there's loads of nice detailing all along here and with this colour, but there's nothing else on it. The wheels look good, and again there's loads of detailing in and around it. Now also this does come off, this blaster, It's just, again, a 5mm port there, so you can reattach this no problem whatsoever. We've got a normal 5mm peg, same as all the others. So this, of course, means you can attach this, and as you'll see, travels backwards and forwards with the wheels spinning around, looking really, really good. Now, I suppose the interesting thing, or fun thing, shall we say, if you're a child, and of course that's what these are aimed at, what we can do, you can take any of your War for Cybertron Optimus Prime, or any of you War for Cybertron Huffer mold, and you can attach the trailer to it. Now, I chose Road Ranger, and I'm sure you'll agree that it looks great with that and the colour scheme. So it still works, it's still fun, and basically that's exactly what these figures are supposed to be. So there you go, you can display with Pipes, Puffer, Huffer, and indeed Road Ranger. Right, let's take this away. And then very quickly, what I'm going to just show you, because it is so simple, is the transformation process for the trailer. So we're going to fold this open up the doors, roll the sides, fold the ramp down. We're going to bring this down. You can see it's on a huge ball and socket, so bring it down, turn it fully around, and then back up on itself, so it's like a bit of a platform. Turn this gun up, and then extend out this lever and arm. Now, this is where I totally see what people are saying. It is very empty. That's the only word for it, isn't it? It's empty. It looks really hollow. Yes, there's lots of detail inside, but there's nothing much going on. There's an abundance of holes here where you can attach blast effects, and indeed the weapons, which I'm going to show you in a second, but it does have that feeling of just being empty and a little bit light. So we've got some cutouts there where you can take the sword, and if you want to, you can pop it in here. I suppose this means, I wonder if it'll hold them in place when it's in normal trailer. We can have a look in a second. Then we've got two tabs there, and these will go into this part there. I'll just bring it closer so you can see right on there, like so. And there we go. So again, you can store the things, but you don't want things there. You want some guns, you want some blast effects. And again, I've seen people like Larkin's Lair who've made what look to be an amazing set of upgrade kits for this particular figure. And if I was a person who was going to be displaying in this base mode, it was something that I would definitely have a look at. Yes, you can move this up and down. Yes, this will spin all the way around and indeed come out, but there's not much more, I suppose, to say really about it. I'm just going to quickly try while we're on camera if this works. I don't know if it does or if it's done before. Oh, it does. Look, you can close it up with the accessories tucked neatly in there. I also forgot to mention that when he was in his alternate mode, that of course it does pretty much resemble a mid-90s Western Star 4964EX tanker truck. And I think that's pretty much all there is to say about him in this mode. Let's come right back and have a look at him in the robot mode. So we're back for the final time, and he's in his robot mode, and that is because this is the way that I'm going to choose to be displaying him. Quick apologies for no transformation process on this video. It will be uploaded separately. Couple of reasons for this: one, to keep the length of this video down, and two, not to spoil it for people who don't want to see it yet. So let's have a look at the figure itself. And you know what, I'm quite impressed by this. Yes, I suppose you can tell that the bottom half is pretty much just, you know, his War for Cybertron mold reused, but it just looks good. I never had a problem with the original Optimus Prime mold at all. Lovely translucent plastic there at the front. One thing I will mention though is when it did come to the transformation process, this part here for me came off way too easy. So literally whenever I turned this bit at the bottom, as you can see there, it did just pop off. Fortunately enough, it's easy enough to relocate and click back in. That's just something to be aware of. Anyway, let's open this up. Here is the matrix. I don't even know if I can get that out. It looks quite fiddly to get out. There we go. There's the matrix. There's a great use for the sword. Lovely bit of detail on it, considering how small it is, to be honest. That is quite detailed. It looks really nice. Impressed with that. Let's pop that back into position and clip that down. As I said, translucent plastic covering it. Figure itself, you've got waist swivel, head swivel. Oh no, you can't really rock it, but you can rock it back a little bit, but be aware because it lifts up because of transformation. The shoulders, you've got quite a bit of movement, but you do have to move these out of the way, obviously, if you want too much movement, but they do open up and close, which is good. Bicep flexion, wrist swivel, hips, side, front, knee bend, ankle tilt, rock. again, everything you would expect from a new figure. And as I've just said, I think it looks lovely. Everything's tucked away nicely. There's the back of the truck. There's maybe a little bit too hollow there, but it's not too bad. It's not going in loads. Again, impressed. Like him. Looks good. What I'm going to do very quickly, I normally do this at the end, but I'm going to do it now. This is the only other version I've got, and you can see how different it is to this. I think it's the Chaos on Velocitron set. To be honest, it looks loads different. This is a huge upgrade to it, a massive step up. This actually now feels really light and flimsy compared to what this one is. And of course this one's got the trailer and everything already built onto this, whereas this is just the cab. So huge differences in that one. Let's move him out of the way and let's show you what else we can do with this particular figure. So I mentioned you can take this gun off, which is good because you can use it if you want to. You can just attach it, keep it safe at the back, but there's no real point taking it off to stick it safe on the back, is there? You might as well pick it up. You can pop it in his hand. You've got the 5mm port there, like so it can be like a mini gun. You can then take the sword and pop the sword in there, into his hand. I'm struggling trying to reach over the camera and pop it in, but let's go for this now. There it is. Slot it in. So he's got a sword. We've also still got the Energon axe, so we can open up this ready. And what you can actually do if you wanted, you can pop this in there if you want. Doesn't look that great, let's be honest, but you could do, or what you can do, which is even better. In fact, I'll show you in a second. So let's put this in there first. So you've got the axe and the sword, but of course the toy line is Legacy, and what they are going for is the combining weapons. So let's do exactly that. Let's take the weapons, take it out of his hand. You can see you've got space at the top there. Let's slot this into position. Oh, just missed that. Put the tab in there. What's going on? Let's click this in. It's because it's a brand new toy, that's why, and I'm struggling with it. It does click in because I've done it already. And is it going to hold? There you go. So there's the combining weapon. There's the combining sword, which is huge. And is it going to stay? Yep, just about. And then of course you can then take this weapon and pop this in his hand, and now he's looking powered up. And then if you want to power him up even more, we can of course open these here, and he's got even more armory and blast effect, shall we say. So that's great. That is brilliant. So good. And again, the translucent blue plastic just really, I suppose, sort of finishes it off. With regards, if we take this out and if we take the sword out of his hands, actually, let's see if he can actually use his base. He's pretty much the right height for that. Straight away, doesn't look too bad, does he? He'll hold it there, and then I suppose if we wanted to, we can get one of the little MicroMasters, and they can go in the base as well. So again, great amounts of fun, great amounts of playability, and I think it's good. I do. I'm impressed. This is a little bit of a letdown, but it's not the end of the world. I'm liking the fact that, say, the weapons have got the playability factor with it. You can combine them, you can do different things. I think, in honesty, what I'm going to do is just choose to display it like this. Now, I think I've covered all bases with this guy. I'm not going to go back to the tanker. We've seen enough of that. And again, I think, yeah, what do you guys think of him? We've got him quite late in the UK, so I appreciate lots of people already have this figure, but I'd like to know your opinion too. And of course, if this did help you with your decision, if you wanted to get one for yourself, again, let me know in the comments, guys. And of course, any other suggestions you've got, or I suppose combinations of this or mini collection showcases, just let me know. And of course, take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe.